go ahead and.
Hey, man.
Hey, how's it
I'm
going, Bernard?
alive.
Nice to meet you,
I
brother.
just want to tell you that I'm on Zoom call from 8 to 9, and then I have to give Emma a bath. So if I'm very closer to 11, then I'll call you, okay? Is that okay? Everything else?
I think Bernard is speaking to his wife.
Christine, I see most of your face.
Who?
Christine,
Oh,
better.
Tutu Sans, you're not walking in your garden like usual?
It's a funny story, but when I was out in the garden with my iPad versus, and I was doing a Zoom call, and then I came on here and the person that I was Zoom calling with said, "You look so much younger over here on this computer in the office." And I was like, well, I should just keep Zooming from this computer in the office. So I'm here, but the garden's outside and all is well.
Is it still in full bloom?
It does have some autumn, leaves are falling, but we just harvested a lot of pomegranates, and we're still harvesting lemons and oranges and lots of herbs. Yeah, so it's great. It's great. It's year round.
Wow.
It's always something.
Where are you located?
We are in Vista, California, which is in San Diego County. Just about 10 miles from the beach. So we're very lucky we can still go swimming in the ocean.
Yeah, that's awesome. It's like cold here. I'm in Missouri. It's like everything. Brassicas are doing good in the garden, like mustards and things like that, and lettuces, carrots, beets, turnips, radishes. But I mean, everything else is wilted and going to sleep for the winter.
Oh, yes. Yes.
We got to have our rest.
Yeah, it's like a whole different, like I was speaking to my friend who's living in Florida right now, and she was like, I'm just used to like, just eating like all these living raw foods. I'm like, it's very hard when you're in these temperate regions, because you have the fall and you have like all these root crops coming in. You have squashes and potatoes and all these things that you keep for the winter. And it definitely isn't definitely wouldn't be conducive to like a person who's really used to a ton of raw food in the winter here. The summer months, oh my gosh, the tomatoes, the apples, so beautiful. But yeah, we gotta, because I really like the raw food, but it's
Hey, what do you want? Being pretty noisy over there.
uh
Cat's in the way, just sprawling out in front middle of yard, middle of yard, middle of the
here,
walk path.
if we can mute. I think that was a second. We're getting
Yes, I agree, Wyatt. The raw food is so fun just to pick and eat that fresh life.
Yeah, totally. I mean, I can still have a lot of like salads. There's a lot of like arugula out there and things like that, but man, there's something about like good tomato, cucumber. But we have apple season right now, so I've been going. We have a local apple orchard, and and I've been getting like bushels. We got like a bushel of apples, 40 pounds.
What kind of apples?
They have a number of different ones. They have Fuji, Arkansas Black.
Ooh,
There's a number of different apples there. Yeah. And then we have peaches here. We have all kinds of really good fruit, but it's kind of sad to see all the leaves falling, but it's been a really pretty fall as well. I mean, absolutely beautiful. And we
Y'all are
finally
making me hungry.
we finally just got rain today too, and it's been like 3 weeks without rain. So like little seedlings that I planted. I mean, because you can water your seedlings, but the rain just come on. I mean, you can't compare the rain, to like regular water from a hose. It doesn't. So my seedlings haven't really been growing that vigorously, but oh man, everything's little kale sprouts, little lettuce sprouts, everything's looking good now. It's been raining all day. which has been so good.
It's raining here. Where are you? Where are you right now?
I am an hour west of St. Louis, Missouri, which St. Louis is, yeah, the border of Missouri and Illinois. So,
Yeah, we're in Illinois,
oh
and
yeah,
we've had
what part of
we're
Illinois?
just a western suburb of Chicago, Addison, which is near Elmhurst. I don't know if you know anything, but we
Yeah.
had a volunteer cherry tomato plant that took over pretty much the whole back eighth of our yard, and we got like there were thousands of tomatoes on that, little cherry tomatoes, and we made the best pico de gallo from it. It was amazing.
Yeah, that's awesome. I had a volunteer squash come up, and it was like it was some weird squash. Has anybody experienced this? It was like a cantaloupe on the inside, but a butternut squash on the outside.
There's probably a hybrid.
I guess I was like, was so excited. I'm like, oh, I have squash. I'm gonna make squash soup, and I cut it open, and I'm like, it smells kind of fruity, and like took a slice, and I'm like, this is cantaloupe. I didn't understand. Yeah,
Wow.
They
that's
got
cool.
married.
Yeah, they did. Although I guess I had squash and cantaloupe growing last year. But is it Catherine or Catherine?
Catherine, or just
Catherine.
Kathy is fine.
Well, Kathy, Shane also is in Illinois, so that's cool that connection's there. We've got some Midwest. Yeah, there's Shane. Shane, you're near Chicago too as well, right?
Bourbonnais, but I grew up in Elgin.
Oh. Yeah, I know a lot about Elgin. I do a lot of playing with the Elgin Symphony and coaching chamber music with the Elgin Youth Symphony. So
What do you
Where'd
play?
I'm a clarinet player.
Oh wow.
So behind me, there are like all these reeds. This is where I practice. So it's got a good energy in here.
You make your own reeds?
Oh.
Awesome.
Do you make your own reeds?
I used to, I made them for 30 years. I have been playing Leger reeds the last, I'm going to say 7 years. They're synthetic, and it's made my life so much. Oh my gosh. It's just, I'm a chamber musician and an orchestral musician, but after COVID, all the orchestras that I was playing with, like for more than 30 years, they all required a vaccine. So guess what? I'm not doing that. And but I'm in a chamber group. We're in our 30th season this year, and it's really a really good group. And so being in a chamber music group, and it's our own thing, it's like having your own garden. And I get to play just some great solo. I mean, you're basically a soloist with your colleagues. And so I require a lot of really good reeds. And so I just am grateful that there's a synthetic reed that makes life less complicated, because reeds, bamboo reeds will change like with the weather 5 minutes later, and you're on stage and you feel terrible performing. It's just no fun.
How do you like the sound of the synthetic reeds?
Well, they sound great on my setup. I have a setup that is really profoundly beneficial to just a good reed. And these are really good reeds. So yeah, I've been very happy having that help. Because you become a slave after a while when you have to make your own reeds, and then they're changing all the time, and then you're panicking, and the coastal reeds are horrible, and just it's just not a good thing. Otherwise, your whole life is, you have no time to do other things. So.
Brilliant. I'm not a reed player, but I've always been fascinated with the reeds. I play piano, and I'm teaching myself guitar, and that's quite a brain challenge, going from this to like this. You'd think it wouldn't be a lot, but there's a lot there.
Well, you get to go clarinet's a little bit, it's not as complicated as playing the guitar in that area, but still on the piano, you can see everything if you want to go up, you're going up. If you want to go down, you're going down. But on guitar, you could be going up and then you have to go
Yeah.
down, go up, right? I mean, you have to know where that is. Like, that's like violin, same kind of issue, right? You have to know where to switch over so that you can keep going.
Yeah, totally. It's a beautiful thing to be practicing though. Good what do they call that? Like, yeah, flexibility of the mind, being able to switch from those two. But
Are you playing, what kind of music are you working on?
I play just honestly I've been playing piano since I've been a little kid, and I've just played by ear. I mean, I could
Yeah.
retrain myself to read music, but I am totally non like classical in that way of like I just play. The
Yeah.
guitar, however, I'm like it's the structure of following music is helping me
Yeah.
to learn and have something to look forward to. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, but
Are you doing like folk or any jazz or? what?
honestly, to be quite honest, I look at Russian bard music that I find enjoyable, and then I
Oh,
play that one. I play those songs. So like,
those are very modal.
yeah, and it's like I like the fingering, the finger picking, that a lot of the bards do. My favorite is Oles from Leo Bolstoik. I think I'm pronouncing that right.
Wow.
He's a beautiful musician. Definitely. I should find a link and send that in the chat because that musician is absolutely phenomenal. Um, but we're 10 minutes in. Sorry to interrupt, Catherine. I just want to welcome everybody. Thank you so much for being here. And it's been 2 weeks, and it's really enjoyable to see all these faces, especially faces that sometimes don't show up and aren't on here. And it's good to see like the reunion because we all have super busy lives. And so I just as people were joining, I'm just like, this is so cool. This is so cool to be like seeing all these people here. So I have a question that I'm gonna put to everyone, and I'd like you to think about it during the remainder of the call, and at some time at the end, we're all gonna share our answers, those that are comfortable. And so I'd like you to think about why it is that you're here and why it is that you're continuing on this journey and this path. Why are you looking to connect with people? Why are you looking to find inspiration in this? Why? I think it's really powerful to have a strong why, and it asks us to really be honest with ourselves and look in at that deep reason. And from that space, that structure, that sanctity, nothing can really shake us if we're firm in that reason. And so I thought it would be really a beautiful co-creation to hear everyone's reasons that are willing to share. So I put that question forth to you now. And I welcome everybody, and I want to open up the floor to anyone who's new that wants to share a little bit about themselves, maybe where they're at. Sometimes if people are comfortable, like what Christine's done is they put their location and their name. I'm going to go ahead and do that. That's pretty cool because, like we found with Catherine and Shane, they knew each other, or not knew each other, but they were in the same area. So it's nice to see where folks are at. But without further ado, please, anyone who's new here, opening up the floor to you. We'd love to meet your acquaintance.
Well, I'm new. My given name is Lily, and a lot of people call me Sunny. And I've read the books. I looked for land for a while, just thinking about starting a kin's domain or just having land to pass on to my children and to just to be closer in touch with land that is wilder. I live about 20 minutes south of Myrtle Beach, right at the beach. And, I got all my little plants around here, but it's very staid, very cultivated. It's, and I love the beach, but I have loved the adventures of just, growing with Anastasia's thinking and being nourished by her thinking. Who I worked in the Rudolf Steiner schools for a while, just a little background. And I just recently did all the coursework to become a Unity minister, but haven't really stepped into that, but love the ideas, the freeing ideas. And right now I'm in a course of love, which by the way is really pretty amazing if anybody knows about that. So I'm just a seeker. I'm on the path, and I saw this in my emails and I thought, oh, I'm just going to listen to all these wonderful people. So I'm going to just listen to all you wonderful people.
Thank you so much, Sunny, for taking the time to share that with us. There's
You're
definitely
welcome.
a lot of good conversations that happen here.
I see a bunch of talented, cool people. Thank you
The
for.
room is filled. Geez,
Yeah.
if all of these faces here like fully were, like expressing the magnitude of their power, like, yeah, it would be huge.
It's like the sun shining, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Global warming immediately.
Kirsten, do you have your mic unmuted? Did you want to share?
I wasn't really planning to, but I have, yeah, sure. I'm in New Mexico, living in the desert, the high mountain desert, by the Chiricahua Mountains. And I'm part of a small intentional community that's pretty loosely knit. And I've just started the process of buying land here, and I'm really excited about buying the land and have followed Anastasia books for a while, and it's been a while since I've read all of them, but they really hit home years ago, and I'm looking to get a land patent for my land and live real simply, and so hopefully do a lot of the things that the Kim's domains do, but maybe not formally a Kim's domain. So.
Where did you say you're located?
I'm close to Rodeo, New Mexico. Also, I'm just like a half a mile from Arizona. So Portal, Arizona, and Rodeo, New Mexico are the closest towns.
Beautiful.
About an hour. Yeah, about an hour from Douglas.
Okay, beautiful. Yeah, I think I'm not sure exactly the state at the moment, but there's the Kins Community Veteran Village. I'm not sure if you're familiar with that. And that's located is it in Arizona, somebody?
It's in Arizona. I think I have heard about that. Yeah, it sounded really wonderful.
Yeah, here we go. I got the link. I'll send it in the chat so everyone can check it out. Yeah, I think it's Arizona. I think it's Arizona. In the Southwest though.
Yeah, I think somebody from the community sent me a link about it before, and it sounded really wonderful.
Beautiful. Well, thank you for joining.
Thank you.
I hope you find some inspiration here. And would anyone else like to share while the floor is open? It's always open.
I will.
Yeah.
I will. I'm Joelle. I'm in Lansing area, Michigan. I haven't been on for a long time. Summer just gets busy. And then I was just on a Zoom for an hour and a half, so I won't be here too long, but nice to reconnect. Read the books years ago, and I need to have my son like print off the PDF of book 10 and print it for me somehow. Because isn't that the only way you can get it? Like print off the PDF?
Yeah, it is. And I'll put the link in here for everyone who doesn't have that, but that is the only way that you can get it right now.
Or you can listen to it.
Yes, you can listen to it.
Okay.
But something I will say, Holda, something about reading, there's something that happens there that's different. But I really enjoy listening to the books too, is like in place of music while I drive, sometimes I'll just listen to the books. But the link that I just put in the chat, everyone, if you go there, you can find all of the books listed there.
So you listen to them, Wyatt, from what?
Oh, okay. Let me
Did
just get that
somebody
right.
record those at one
Yeah.
time?
So there's this really beautiful lady. I'm not even sure if she's a part of our community. If not, somebody should reach out. I guess I should out and get her to
I
be.
don't think she cannot have read the books and then give it out properly.
Anasta audio.
Lime green something.
Yeah, it's Lime Green Roos, and here she is. I really adore her voice. I got to be honest, because there's sometimes like audiobooks that are read, and you're just like, I like the content, but I'm not really digging the voice, and because it's hard, it's like in the background, but she has such like her voice automatically animates to the situation. Like you can tell she's in the story, and I really appreciate that. So that YouTube link that I sent is definitely my favorite there.
Yeah, she has kind of a different voice for different people.
Yeah, totally. She does like Vladimir and Anastasia, and then I think there's like one with grandfather too. Like she does a little intonation or something. It's cool. Yeah. Well, thank you.
What's her name again?
Lime Green Roos, and I put the link to her YouTube in the chat.
That's her YouTube channel name.
Yeah.
I was able to print off book 10, doing that Presto printing that Gabriel sent out on one of the last earlier this summer. That was it was not cheap. It wasn't as expensive. Probably it was like, I would say $30 to print out the book. But it came out really well, and cover is the cover, it looks like the other books in terms of quality and stuff. So
that's amazing. So I believe Nicole is here. I believe Nicole. Wow, that's really cool. Well, Nicole, even though you have no video or no mic, I want to tell you that the way you read these books has absolutely changed many of my long drives, and kept my spirits high. So thank you so much for taking the time and the intention to record the books in the way that you did. If I am understanding this correctly, that Brian Rochester from New York is Nicole. No, I'm not Nicole. Okay, never mind. Well, still, Nicole, thank you. Okay. Well, that's okay. I needed to express it anyway. It's good to laugh. Joel, thank you so much. Does anyone else have an introduction, and then I'll start us on our intro, and then we can begin discussion.
How do I pull up that chat? I'm on my phone. It's plugged in.
Oh, I'm not sure. Does anyone know? Is anyone else on a mobile?
I am.
I am.
Push on more.
More.
Yeah, push more to the
More.
touch your screen, and then the icons will come up on the bottom. And then the far right one, it says more. Touch that.
Okay.
And then it'll say chat.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Let me write these things down. Thank you.
Cool.
Yeah, maybe someone could put that into the chat for future reference.
Yes, maybe. Cool. All right. Well, yes.
Yeah, this is Dee. Hi, I'm calling in from northwestern California. I'm here. I got exposed to the Anastasia books a decade ago or so, and resonated with a lot of that. And, so I'm here to connect with like-minded and to be of service if and where I can.
Where in northwestern California?
Along the coast, the Lost Coast, between Eureka and Ukiah, there's an area here with a bunch of roadless coastline. It's quite remote for a coastal area.
You're kind of close to Alphabetic Gardens then.
I've never heard of that. What is that?
There's a wonderful YouTube channel, and they have a website, and they're on DLive and whatever, called Alpha.
The electric blanket tonight?
No.
Do a podcast every week called Alpha Cast.
So do you know where they are geographically,
They're
where they are?
on the Smith River.
Yeah.
Alphabetic Gardens is on the South Fork of the Smith River. It's I guess the postal address is Big Flat or Big Flat Road or something. I was there this summer for a law workshop, and it's Mike Winter, who's the co-host of Alpha Cast, along with Dr. Bear Paul Lando, is one of the main coordinators of the Music and Sky Festival that he invited me to sing at. And that was not this past weekend, but the weekend before, or was it?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I guess it was this past weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 13th through the 16th. And I got to meet Gabriel Miguel there and Wesley.
Nice.
Yeah, none of those people are familiar to me, but I know the area up there, and I do know people in that area.
D, that's really beautiful. I haven't explored the Lost Coast a lot, but I lived in Gold Beach for 2 years. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, there's a lot of magical spots.
Yeah, Gold Beach is a vortex, and that whole area is a vortex for sure. It kind of sucks you in.
Yeah, very diverse.
Yeah, definitely. Well, thank you so much for being here, Dee. You sound like you have a really, really beautiful passion and spirit just in the way that you convey your words. So there's a lot of like-minded community in that northern area for sure. It's they just need some connecting, but there's a lot of people that have this vision in their heart.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people are spread out, and I think spread out is a good thing too, because it feels like there's like an energy grid forming around the world that's helping other people wake up.
Yes,
So
exactly.
being far apart being spread out has its benefits.
Yeah, definitely. We are definitely all like pillars and columns holding valuable energy so that other people can, transition with peace. That's what we're doing.
Right.
Well, thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks for hosting.
I'm gonna send some links as well, just for people who aren't like us. I'll put the link to our Telegram chat in this chat here. And then like obviously like the Anastasia Foundation website is a really good place to sign up for stuff and see what's happening.
Yeah.
It is Anastasia.foundation, but it doesn't link. So let me put the whole.
Yeah, I'd like to be of service too. I teach energetic connection. Teach people how to communicate with nature and energy, past, present, future, and stuff. I take in interns, people, so they learn while doing permaculture, watershed restoration, a variety of past people stuff.
Wyatt, I have a question because I want to make sure that maybe you could put it in the chat. I listened on YouTube 2 weeks ago, and there was a link to order Russian Siberian cedar seeds. And
yes,
and I didn't, because I just listened to YouTube, I couldn't get it. And I'd like to get that today because I want to order some seeds.
I am sending the exact link right. Oh no, you probably want the cones, not the seeds. Dee, that sounds really beautiful, Dee. So are you saying you offer classes?
I more work one-on-one with people or small groups. And I'm kind of private about what I do. I don't really put myself out there on the internet. That's probably why I don't have a camera on me here. So at times I feel like it's maybe a bit of a target, but yeah, I take interns, especially usually young people, but anybody really.
Dee, I'm interested to hear more, and I just commented in the chat, in the chat. I don't know how to know more. Do you have?
Maybe Dee, you could put your email or whatever your preferred way of communication is in the chat, and then anyone who wants to reach out can reach out to you.
Okay, sounds good. I'll put something. It'll take me a minute, but I'll put something up. Thank you.
I couldn't hear you very well, Dee. Could you repeat what it is that you do, that you like intern people on?
Well, a lot of it has to do with energetic connection, and so how to communicate with nature is how it starts out, but it really gets into all kinds of different things. The idea that everything is connected, and so we can access all of it, and it's a matter of really like, you know, it's inherent to who we are is the connection, and we maintain veils in our mind. So a lot of it has to do with releasing the veils and emotional blocks of like our chi, our energy. And so it gets into other things, empathy and such. But you know, I work with people, so they might go work and like they grow a lot of food here and stuff. And so so rather than ask me like which plants need water and how much water, people learn to communicate with the plants directly.
Oh, nice.
To connect with the plants. And so once they learn those skills, you can really do anything and everything.
Yeah.
I think you would really resonate with the alphabetic folks. They work with biogeometry and as well as permaculture and regenerative and stuff.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, and some of the stuff I do overlaps a lot. The one group that covers a lot of it has the Heart Map Institute.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it has a lot
I used
do
to
with our-
date the vice president.
Dan Winter, he covers a lot of it too. But you know, I'm just kind of out on some land in a small community, just kind of doing what I'm doing. I don't really get out or put myself out there a lot. More local, but I get on the internet once in a while, and yeah, I like to connect with people.
Well, thank you for stepping outside of the potential, I guess, comfort zone, or you know, thank you for coming out and introducing yourselves. I think it'll be very fruitful, especially, you know, I know a lot of people are concerned about the public, the public view, the public perception of modern social media. And so I highly encourage anyone here, especially you know, people who feel like they have sensitive content to offer, to join our community platform, which is an exclusive, you know, network that we own the servers to, and it's on. So if you go to the website, I'll put the direct link in here right now. But if you go into the Anastasia Foundation website and you just scroll down just like one or two sections, actually it's just one section, you'll see the Ringing Cedars community platform link. And there you can sign up. It's a really, really beautiful way to stay in touch with everyone that's happening here. I haven't been super active on that. I'm getting myself back into being active on that. And I think there's going to be a mobile app that's being released soon. And that's really going to, I think, expedite the process of getting people to use this application and kind of transition away from these modern public social applications.
May I ask a question? This is Ann.
Yes, and your mic is really, really low.
Checked it.
Uh-oh. Hello, Anne?
It shows that it's all the way up.
Okay.
Is that any better? If I
That's
speak louder?
It's a little bit better, yeah.
Maybe I should wait and let somebody else go ahead and check the recording first. I'll check my mic.
Okay. Well, friends, I am very grateful to hear from all of these folks. I'd like to, just because we're already about 30 minutes into the call, I'd like to kind of share the substance of today that kind of just spontaneously came to me as we started this call. So I invited you to think about your why. And so what I'm going to invite us to do now is I'm going to read a short passage from book 5. The chapter is Eternity Lies Ahead for You and Me. And it's one of my favorite declarations of love I've ever heard in my life. And I think it would be really beautiful to read this, and then I think just take a couple of moments to kind of sit with it. So I'm going to go ahead and read this, and then I'll invite us to continue that with maybe a little little fun exercise. So for those who want to read this later on, this chapter is, like I said, really beautiful. Book 5, Eternity Lies Ahead for You and Me. It's near the end of the chapter. It's almost at the end of the book. So just to provide a little bit of context about what's happening is Anastasia has visited Vladimir in his apartment, and she's cooked him breakfast. And Vladimir is feeling very nervous. He goes to take a shower and tries to dress himself up, and he like has this pearl necklace for her, and he drops the pearls, and he's just feeling kind of like not defeated, but almost unworthy of this goddess that's standing before him. The feelings of love are really flaring up in him. And so Anastasia is like kind of talking him through this, like, because he's like ends up sitting down on the floor and is just like speechless. And so she's there, you know, talking through this. She said, I have no reason to come up with anything. There is only one truth. Death exists for the flesh. That is clear to everyone. For the flesh. In every other aspect, death is a dream, Vladimir. A dream? Yes, a dream. Anastasia got up on her knees and began talking, looking me straight in the eye. But somehow the way she talked silenced the kitchen radio, the sounds of voices and other noise outside the window, as she spoke in a gentle voice. My dearest, eternity lies ahead for you and me. Life always claims its own, you see. The littlest ray of sunlight glistens in the spring, and the soul enrobes itself in new things. But the decaying body does not embrace the ground in vain. Come spring, from our bodies will sprout new flowers and grass again. You shall forever hear the birds sing and drink in the drops of rain. In the blue sky above, the clouds again and again will entrance you with their dance. And if you, my dearest, should find yourself scattered across the unfathomable universe as little specks of dust, still refusing to believe, then from these specks of dust, wandering throughout eternity, I shall begin to gather you up. And the tree you plant will help me do this. In the early spring, to the place where your soul lies in unfeeling peace, it will stretch out its branch above. And those who you have been kind to upon the earth will remember you with love. And if the sum total of earthly love is not enough to materialize you once again, then there is one whom you know, and on every plane of being she will be flaming with a single breath of desire, namely, materialize yourself, my love. There is one who will give herself over for a moment unto death. That's like probably, that is one of my most favorite passages. So I invite us now, I invite us now to take a moment of silence. So I would ask that everybody could mute their mic. I am seeing how
Ready? Alan, you gotta watch this with me.
So if everyone could mute their mic, that would be really sweet. And I'm gonna ask that we just take, I'll be the timekeeper, so you don't have to worry about that. But just about roughly 5 minutes to really just sit in silence. And I have a couple of images here that you can just ponder. First, the image that there's people, all these people on this call with you are going to be sitting and thinking these things as well, and pondering, and have just heard the words that you've heard, and have a soul and have a heart, and they have parents, and they probably have kids, and they have dreams too. And that alone is really powerful, that we're all gathered here together like that. And then I invite you to really feel into that question that I asked in the beginning of why. Why are you here? Why are you doing this? And what is your inspiration? What is your motivation? And connecting with that original source. So I will be the timekeeper, and you can begin whenever feels good. We'll start now, and so it's 7:40. So around 7:45, I'll call us all back. Feel free to leave your video on or video off, doesn't matter. You can return back whenever feels good. Thank you so much for participating in that. It's pretty, it's always good. Like we used to have these calls. I mean, there was at least 2 calls a week, it seemed like, and the connection that you begin to feel with people that you don't even know, as if like you've met them, becomes pretty surreal, and it's tangible, and you start seeing and feeling things, and you start feeling familiar connections, and an inspiration to walk and to move into the world in a new way that you're not used to. You're not used to moving in a way of like extreme full confidence in what you believe in, and what your dream is. We're kind of used to putting up shields and veils, as Dee was saying earlier. So this exercise was really beautiful for me to kind of connect with that again, and I hope it was for you. And I asked everyone in the beginning to hold that question of perhaps why. Why this time, why now, why this dream for you? And so I can start, but I would really enjoy to hear. I think others would enjoy as well to hear your why, if you feel comfortable with sharing it, because this is the time when mutual inspiration, from each other can really empower people, and you never know what one word you say could lift somebody else up. So I can share my why first, and then I'd really love to hear from any willing person, any willing individual that is, that would love to share.
Your why at, huh?
Hold up. You come up with all these songs, and you saw that one coming from probably a mile away. That's good. That's good. Um, for me, my why of being in this movement now, and why this time in my life right exactly now is so important, is that I I grew up not really feeling like I had a home. I grew up in a place of constant, fluctuations and movement, and um, feeling like I had to shield myself, and then inevitably giving myself over to like something that I was not, and then having to go through a lot of life, cleansing and healing to come out and see who I actually am. And I guess why now is that when I think about having a family, when I think about changing the world, to me it has to start from the children, from the individuals. And I remember what it felt like to be 6 years old, and you felt like you could take on the world. You felt like you could. And whatever godless mechanism that we've created to take that away from children, I want to be the antithesis of that. And I want to give my children, and give my earth, and give my creator what they intended, was pure pristine life and all the opportunities they can. So for me, it's really centered in family, and also a search for joy, like a search for the deepest pleasure, the deepest joy that I intuitively like can feel. There's like these little trails, I can feel it. And so that's definitely my why, is seeking that out, and providing that for my children. I'm not a lost cause, right? But it's like a child that's born in this way is so much different than a child that isn't. And so I want to give my children the opportunity for that. So that's my why. I'd love to hear. And I mean, think about all the thousands of people that are going to watch this later on YouTube. The inspiration could be really huge. So I invite anyone to share.
I can feel what you just said right here in my heart.
Yes.
Thank you.
I'll share, Wyatt. Bill, because of your inspiration. I was involved in the Rudolf Steiner School, and I think that there is a kinship in the Steiner schools for, seeing children as spiritual beings and honoring them as they grow. Why I am here tonight, and is that when I allow myself to drop into my spacious self, and as you said, Wyatt, you can join and dance with other people's spacious selves. That it's really very, very satisfying. It's joyful. It is the place where you know everything, because you can know, and you use the word intuitive, and you can trust that, and you can be led, and it's the time of now, and to be able to join with these minds is, I think, one of the reasons why we're human. It's the many to the one, and in the formless is where we are all joined. When you see differences, they are formidable. And when you are in that spacious, playful space of acceptance, it allows you to know people that you don't know in a deep level. It's magic. So I am here for that reason.
That's a really, really, really beautiful reason. Yeah, that community connection is absolutely huge. Absolutely huge.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, when a true meeting of the minds, when a true sharing can happen. Whew.
And that's why I don't turn on my camera, because I like to close my eyes and feel you. I don't want to, it gets my ego out of the picture much better.
Oh, totally.
Because
Right.
so that I'm not like, oh, I do this, I do that. It's like, what am I going to say? What am I, but rather more of a being with you,
I really appreciate
not
that.
not that not that I not that I have anything against
No,
the camera, but I
really,
like to feel.
yeah, I really appreciate that perspective, because I remember when Ariane was doing a lot of the guided imagery talks, and there's something about, she would be guiding us and we'd all have our eyes closed, and it's like you probably would feel, the people who were next to you on the screen as if they were sitting next to you. And
yes.
Yeah, it's incredible. It's incredible. It's important to establish these fundamental things before we begin talking about anything, that's a little bit more non-etheric, right? And like when we start to talk about material things, right?
Academic, yeah.
Right. It's like we have to establish this first. Well, thank you so much for sharing, Sunny. That was really beautiful.
Thank you.
May I? Can you hear me?
Yes, please go for it.
Okay, can you hear me any better?
Yes.
Oh, thank you. I often feel like from many decades of experience that even in gatherings like this and groups like this, and I've had the experiences before, but it's still like, do I dare still put more than the tips of my toes to the edge of it? Do I actually start walking into this group thinking that I really can be accepted no matter how much my thinking and the things I've learned over the years of my life may differ from everybody else's. Won't be on the sort of same wavelength, but in the same heart and desire. Does that make any sense?
Kind of. Your mic is a little bit spotty. Sorry for this darn technology. But I
Is it too loud or let me
no,
try
it's
this?
it's like it cuts in and then it gets really quiet and then we miss some keywords.
Yeah. Is this any better for regularity? Or can you hear me less? I lowered the mic a little bit, my speaker.
I think it's your connection.
Oh, well, I don't know what to do about that. Let me see. Stop letting. I don't know what to do about it.
Maybe try stopping your video.
How do I do that? You mean stop watching you guys?
No, you can have there's an option that you can stop sharing your video. It just says stop video. I don't know if you're on a computer or not.
Yeah, I am. I'm on a laptop.
Okay, bottom left corner it should say stop video.
Oh, yes. Uh-huh.
Yeah, if you go ahead and click that. Okay, now go ahead and talk.
Okay, is that any better?
Oh, yeah, much better.
Yeah, it seems to be coming through better.
Okay, so, you know, given the fact that we all are have good bad, no matter, I mean, that's just who we are. And that's what scripture teaches, and we all know it, because if we are honest about it, there are times when we have to resist thoughts that aren't what we understand to be as loving. And we understand basically what it is to be loving because we know how we want to be treated. And yet there are times or things when we each wish somebody had said or done something. Do you understand what I mean? Or that even I hadn't said or done something. And so even in this group, I come here with the honest expectation that I can speak openly and honestly without the guards on as to what they will think. Not wanting to, not having any thought to offend anyone or anything, but just where my search has led and my questions, how they've been answered by Creator God. And it differs a lot from what most people believe, even those who are in the scripture. And so we all come here with some sort of expectation, and I'm no different. And that is sort of with a question, is acceptance for all, as long as there's no harm or evil intent? Is it really possible? And if it is, if that's possible here, then I want to keep coming. If it's not, I want to know it. And I started hearing that buzzing. Was that me? I mean, was that my mic?
No, that was somebody else, Anne. Thank you so much for sharing your thoughts. And I think that this is a place that you can speak completely openly. At least during my call, you can speak completely openly. I will say that the folks who are gathered here, for the most part, and I will speak for them because they joined this call, is that these are folks who are interested in the creation or in the belief of the idea of a kin's domain, or at least some of the provisions of that. They're readers of the Ringing Cedars series, and they're interested in seeing the co-creation of a splendid earth. And
Yes, I've been reading them.
yeah, beautiful, beautiful. So, and I don't know if that answers your question to the degree that you're looking for, but I think that this is a place of inspired conversation. And so, sometimes if topics seem to be a little bit on the dark side, we try to address them, but then we try to move through them by finding inspiration and focusing on that, because our time together is very valuable, right? And we're not here all the time, so we can all sit in our own thoughts and think about non-pleasant things as much as we want, but when we're together, we try to utilize that time to be super focused on the things that we actually desire, what our soul actually desires. So I think hopefully that answers your question to the degree of which, like, yes, everything is open, but sometimes we'll kindly facilitate and move through topics that maybe, we're not sitting here to talk about endless on end of the problems of the world, right? We're solution oriented, and we're inspired creators, so I don't know if that answers your question to the degree. I mean, we like the more people we have here, it's like the more magic it is. But I does that answer your question as to like what topics are off limit and what are?
Yeah, I don't. The sense of this I have is that there aren't any. So there aren't any artificial limits. I guess I could say it that way. And based on that, I haven't been able to be here for a couple months for some things that I've had to deal with. But last time I was here, I was talking about, and I never found out how to go in to make it happen. But I'm in a neighborhood community in the middle of Kansas City, in the heart of the nation, actually right at the heart where Penn sits. And where in Missouri are you from?
I am an hour outside of St. Louis, and I'm gonna kindly ask you to just hold your rest. What I had asked is if you had like an answer to the why question, and I just want to honor any of those other folks in the group who have an answer to that they'd like to share.
Can I speak next?
Please.
Okay. When I discovered the Anastasia books, I was studying the Guardian materials, and it was all about the original humans on this planet, the divine humans that we are. And I was so enamored with studying this information that obviously when the Anastasia books came through, as a musician, sitting in a room and preparing to share light through music my whole entire life, I feel like I've been directly connected to God's voice forever, and never felt comfortable going to churches because I always felt there was something wrong with the dogma. And so I was seeking something that really would speak to me and the books were amazing. I mean, I just, for the first time, I'm like, yeah, I'm a pagan. I'm connected to the earth directly. I'm a Vedic. I'm connected to God through nature and through the earth, because that's how I connect through music. And my role as a musician is just to give light through music. And so why I've been connected to real food, and I wrote a book on healing with real food with the Weston A. Price Foundation. And I've really had to be directly connected to God with no dogma involved. And the Anastasia, the voice of her words through the true true humanity is where we are going. And I'm just so grateful that we have this material to move us in our hearts. I mean, it's so profound. It changed everything for me in terms of, I finally found a home that made sense to me outside of what we see in our day-to-day life, and the miracles that happen when you really trust that you're connecting directly to God. And then my work with children, we're talking about children and teaching and just bringing the best out of them always throughout my life. It just makes, it's just like, this is the why we even are here. I mean, to go back to who we really are. I mean, what else is there? Like, if we don't do that, then there's no point to all this nonsense that we're having to deal with. We have to take off the onion layers and become the center light that we are, that we were created to be. So that's why for me.
Wow, that was really beautiful. Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Thank you for sharing openly and honestly and with emotion. That was really I know it touched me, and I know it touched a lot of people here. Thank you. Thank you for all that you're doing. All those, you're God's daughter. You're touching you're planting little seeds everywhere.
Yeah. Well,
And
that's what we have to do. We got to plant a lot of seeds. That's why I got to get some of those Russian cedars, because I want to start planting those too.
yeah. Yeah. Well, our seeds are growing, and sometimes we can't be discouraged. Cedar trees grow very slowly. And they're a good reminder to really enjoy and to look deeply at that whole process, because if we just if we run away from the horrors of the world, and we're doomed to repeat them.
Yeah.
We have to face them, and we have to look them deeply in the eye, deeply. And that's really challenging to do. And you're doing that. You're planting seeds. We're all doing that. So
Yeah.
thank you for sharing that.
I'm just glad there's a community. After reading the books, you're just wondering, well, what's next? Like, what can I do? Oh, there's all these people.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's great.
Thank you so much for sharing, Catherine. I want to honor Dee. Dee would like to share.
Yeah, thank you.
Hold
yeah,
on,
my wife.
brother. You've got so much background noise. I don't know if you can do anything about that.
Oh, really? Let's see. No, I don't think. Yeah, I don't know anything to do. Is it too bad? I can pass if it's too.
I mean,
bad.
it sounds like there's like a drill going on in the background.
And you know what? Hold on a second. Hold on just a second.
Okay, I'm gonna let somebody else go, but you're in line. You're there.
Okay.
Oh wow, that was loud.
Why did his name disappear from the participant list when his microphone went on? That was weird.
I don't know.
And it came back when he turned it off.
Is that better now?
I have a suggestion. Maybe you should leave the call and then join the call again.
Okay. Okay, I'll try that. Thanks.
Yeah.
Does anyone else want to share while D is working out his technical difficulties?
I'll share.
Okay, so we got Mark and then Tutu and D. Okay, Mark, please. Good to see you, Mark. I didn't say greetings to you today. Good to see you, dear brother.
It's good to see you too, brother. When you first said the question, I narrowed it down to why am I on this call tonight? And then when you spoke, I broadened it out to, why am I involved with the community of the readers of the Ringing Cedars. And to answer the latter, because of everything I gained from reading those books, which I've been looking for forever, and having a community of people who appreciate what Anastasia has given us and interacting with them, in whatever ways it comes about. But why I come on the calls is kind of a repeat of Sunny for those magical moments that occur on the calls. The magical moments when we all go deeper. Someone says something happens. We all go deeper together. The magical moments of us taking silence together. For me, that was very magical, us going into silence together. And I don't know why I want to share this, but I guess I will. For me, the first 3 minutes were the magical minutes, and then the last 2 minutes felt like they were not quite as necessary. But and the most magical for me is when I can be of service. When something comes up from someone or organically from the group where I actually feel I can contribute to either that person or to the group, or as you say, Wyatt, to the larger community of listeners who will be listening to this down the line. And just the fact that we share the vision of Anastasia. We share the vision of the Kin's domain. We share the vision of the settlements of neighbors, living each on their own Kin's domain next to each other and creating an oasis of heaven on earth and all the rest of it. And all the wisdom and knowledge that, that she's given us in those books. So the magic, the contribution, the love, the going deeper together, the cross-pollination between individuals, all of those things and more is why I'm here.
Brother Mark, you have so much to offer the world, and I firmly hold that vision of when the time is right, the appropriate channel will open up and it'll just be shed for like water to whoever needs it. I hold that vision of you as an elder now and as a youth in the next. And I'm grateful to have your presence on this call and on many of the calls, and for your timeliness, for your commitment to being on these calls as well. Because when there's 5 people, every individual really matters. And so I appreciate the ground that you hold and the peace in the big circle that you play your part, and you play your part, and you don't budge from your part. And I really admire and appreciate that.
Thank you, brother.
Yeah.
It's been my lifelong impulse, and I have to a certain degree, and maybe it'll come about that I can do so more. Thank you.
D, did you get your before we go to Tutu, D, did you get your mic situated? Hopefully. Maybe. Not yet. Oh, okay. Okay. Tutu. Your turn.
Okay, I'm just going to read what I wrote down through the process while we were all thinking of what we wanted to say. Why am I here on this call? I love your bright thoughts. I love your vision of spaces of love. I am in love with the beauty of Mother Earth, the ground we stand upon, the birds who sing and fill the sky with beauty, the invisible microbes and the majestic design, the physical evidence of our Creator's imagination, the gift we humans have to see, hear, feel, and imagine, the opportunity to create reality by nurturing our gifts. Each one of you is a wondrous miracle. Mostly, I'm here to connect with the other dreamers who see the beauty that is possible here. We are visible expressions of our Creator's joyful, creative ideas. So it's great to be here with all of you beautiful souls, beautiful expressions on earth.
Aw, Tutu, that made me happy to just listen to you say all those things. Oh, nice. I expect. Can you repeat the last line again?
Absolutely. We are visible expressions of our Creator's joyful, creative ideas.
Okay, sorry. Not sorry. One more time, please.
We are visible expressions of our Creator's joyful, creative ideas.
Take it home and put it under your bed, everyone. Wow, that was a beautiful line. Thank you for repeating that so it could cement fully into this. Appreciate that.
You're welcome. Love you. Love you all.
Love you too. Christine?
I'm sorry, my mute button was stuck or something like that, or unmute button was stuck. Yeah, I wanted to chime in. One of the things that's really clear to me is the whole idea of the generational thing, leaving something, and also caretaking something to leave. I homeschooled my kids, which I felt really lucky to do that because I wanted to spend time with them. I wanted them to be free. I wanted them to think for themselves. I wanted them to be creative. And I think it's really hard for the next generation though, because we're in a real crazy time right now in the world. And I think it's really good to kind of unwind and go back to what works. I think multi-generational living is much healthier for families. I think I like the idea. I've always kind of wanted to live on the land and grow food, and I think times such as these have kind of they motivate you. They make you want to do those things. They make you really do the things you want to do, and because you feel like now it's now that we need to do that for sure. So that's another reason why I'm here. And there's also the creative process of making a future for yourselves and for your progeny, I suppose. So so a lot of things that other people have said resonated with me a lot, which was really lovely to see that and feel that. So that's pretty much what I wanted to add.
That's a lot to add. It's a lot to add. Thank you so much for sharing, especially the multi-generational thing. That's a perspective that the Western civilization, we don't have a firm grasp on, and it's important that we collect the ideas that have worked from cultures in the past and integrate them. And that's really beautiful that that's really sticking to you. And yeah, I found myself even getting emotional when you were talking about the future for the children, because it is hard when you look at the world. Like just this morning, I was like, I don't know, I just had these feelings wash over me of like hopelessness. Not in my, it wasn't me. I was feeling the hopelessness of so many people in the world that are suffering, children that, you know, are in war zones, people, I mean, very sad images. And it can feel like an unsurmountable mountain to, and it really is not divine for the experience that we're having, because it makes us feel insignificant of what we can do. And yeah, I invite us to think about the impact that our actions have, and the ripple effect of our actions too. I mean, like Catherine, you know, with her children, and Tutu with her gardens, and Mark with the advice, and I mean, everyone who's offering, and you with the land that you're connecting with, and Holda with her songs, and all these other beautiful people on here that their gifts I can't recall at the current moment. That's making an impact, right? And that's setting the stage for the future. And there's millions of us. And we will succeed. So yeah, like your inspiration with the land, and your story about how you found this land, and how you're committed to stewarding it in a way that is ecologically sound and sets it up for your posterity. I mean, that's huge. You should be writing a book, because they would love to read it.
Oh, that's an interesting thought. Very cool.
Thank you so much for sharing.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Yeah, you're making a huge difference. They're gonna smile. They will smile. They are smiling right now. All the
They're pretty fun. They're fun kids. I love them.
That's good.
Yeah, they're great.
I just want to read. So okay, D, I'd love to really hear. If you have any way to type it, I can try to say it as if it were you. I mean, I want to give you that opportunity to share. But I understand if your mic isn't going there. Yeah. Anyone else here? No? All right. Well, thank you guys for playing along with that exercise. And then I would really like to continue doing things like that. Mark, thank you for the feedback that, you know, you really enjoyed the silence. I really miss Arion's calls, and I'm glad that I didn't invite her to say something, because I think that she ended up having to go. I was going to ask her to go, but Tammy, Joe, Cake Christ, would you like to say something? Yes?
May I?
100%.
Oh, thank you so much. I'm new. I've been following the emails. I've been interested in the first place because the whole premise just totally speaks to my soul. And this is my first call, and thank you. Thank you very much. So why I haven't come sooner is because I'm very far away from having land or a home. I'm not close enough in my progression. But just listening to what little I did here, and I wish I was able to come on earlier. I wish I could have heard the other stories. In my past, I lived in a location for a very long time, and I definitely spread my spiritual roots geographically throughout the lands. However, I've never had, and my heart yearns to spread physical roots in the land. Not having immediate family and very little family altogether. My long-term vision that I've held for a long time, I want to do some projects which include healing, which include providing people like on an Ubuntu type of volunteer-based, little community. There's a lot of things I want to do, but what it has to do with this is that because I don't have family, I've always had the idea of bringing on some other people who maybe don't have family or are displaced from their family, and to let it become our home where we can plant our roots. And so I just wanted to share that. It's beautiful energy. It really warms me.
Aw. Well, thank you for joining. There's a lot of people in this group that I think would resonate with many things that you're saying. I think the prospect too of finding connection in a deep way is completely there, and finding that land is there. So I put a link into the chat. It's our community platform. It's a private platform. We own the servers. And I don't know if you're already on there, that's beautiful. If not, I would definitely check that out. It's a wonderful place to connect with people. What's really cool is there's, little buttons, or not buttons, but above everybody's, actually below as everybody's profile picture, it will say like seeking soulmate or seeking kin's domain or making friends. And so it's a really beautiful way to connect with people all across the globe. And there's a map there so you can see like who's even near you. It's a really beautiful application. I would definitely highly recommend you check it out if you haven't already.
Thank you. No, I appreciate the encouragement. Thank you so much.
Yeah, and definitely your bright future's there. Like among these thousands of people that are in our community, there's connections that are waiting to be had. It's like we're just all feeling out our heart, like, yeah, it's all there. And there's many of us. I don't think any one of us here is actually like on a big settlement, right? Like we're not like, but we all have the burning vision, and that's what's important right now. So I want to say that too. Like the burning vision is so important.
Thank you. Okay, beautiful.
And
Thank
that's what makes us all family.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Hulda?
Well, I feel that I'm in a similar situation as Tammy and perhaps as Anne. I have sisters, and they have kids and grandkids, but I'm not close to them, neither geographically and especially not like emotionally. And I have a stepson, and he has two girls that call me grandma, but there's really no closeness there. And I'm not really motivated to try to get to close to either one. So I'm looking for community, and I want to get my hands in the ground and grow food and live in a community. So that's what I'm looking for. I'm going to see if that community platform that Wyatt has mentioned a couple times, whether that can be of assistance.
I think so. Hulda, did you say you have blood children or no?
I have a stepson.
Okay. Nice. And you're just not close with him?
No, I
Oh.
mean, he's at least not in the cult. So he's seen through all the,
That's a benefit.
yeah, that's good. And actually my sisters pretty much are too, but they pour their religiosity on way too strong for me. So anyway.
Well, yeah, I think that platform's a great. I'm thinking of a couple of people. Yeah, I think that platform's a great place to really assert yourself in a kind way, and make there on the Telegram, and people, if your heart, if your intention's pure, it'll come, like, and the people will be there. I definitely believe in that. Yeah. The community platform is about to be really cool, guys. When the app launches, no longer having to log on a computer. I mean, we all have to use our silly mobile phones anyway. It's like it will streamline and make it easy for people to be very engaged. Because I know for me, it's like if I have to go onto my computer many times, I don't want to even go on my computer or something. So, it'll make it nice and easy to do
I
that.
don't want to be on a mobile device.
I don't either, Holda, but I mean, many of us have mobile devices, and makes it easy. Yeah, thanks for putting those regional groups in there.
Yeah, the other times I put it in, it was kind of wasn't formatted well.
Lost, yeah.
If
Well,
there's time, I would love to share something from the Music and Sky Festival that I attended.
yes, please. Sorry, I was just lost right for a second. Megan put something in the chats about Svetlana and her poem People. Oh, yes, I think I do. Was that at the end? The end of day 2 of the co-creation and freedom and co-creation event? I think so.
Hi. Yeah, I think it was.
Okay.
It was so beautiful. I wanted to say it in case anybody was there because it reminded me of what everyone was just saying. I've been thinking a lot about community lately, and I don't want to interrupt or interject here, but what is community? And thinking that community doesn't start once the land is acquired. Community is what we have right here, and wherever you are and wherever your heart is and feels drawn to. And it's what I feel right now on this call. I missed being on these calls. And she wrote this beautiful poem that she had translated from Russian to English, but it just kind of described how she found her homeland and that people are her homeland. It was really beautiful.
Yeah, I'm remembering that now.
Yeah, made me weep. It was so pretty. Just hit home for me. People are my homeland.
Yeah.
Love you guys.
You too, Megan. Good to have you here. I'm just reading some of these things in the chat now. Vitality. Bye, Kirsten. Thank you so much for joining. It's a pleasure to have you. Interesting, Anne. You're in Missouri. I'm in Missouri too. Missouri. It's a poppin' place these days. But don't tell too many people about it. Well, dear friends, if anyone has anything that they'd like to share, yes, outside of St. Louis. Oh, sorry, hold it. Yes, Music and Sky Festival. Please take it away.
Well, coincidentally, or maybe not, Tammy just sent me a private message about having recently learned about Clear Lake in California, which is, I think it's the result of a volcano. And that's kind of precisely what I wanted to share. The opening talk or event or whatever, Music and Sky, was a talk by Russell Anderson and a guy that goes by Cosmic Sojourner about primary water. And they're working with the indigenous people that live in or around Clear Lake. And Russell told the story, not during the talk, but afterwards, or the next day to some of us. He said, I learned everything about life from a duck when I was 10 years old. So he told that story, and then he asked me to write a song about it. He was very excited about my songs. I actually sang Waterlandia before they did their primary water talk. And if you'd like, I'd be happy to share the duck. Yes? Okay. I call it Duck, Duck, Go. Oh, my duck, duck, go. Oh, my duck, duck, go. Waddle, 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 duck, duck, go. She's my bosom friend to the very end. Follows me around wherever I go. To the corner store and the picture show. And even to school, which breaks the rules. So up in the air, tossed, tossed, she goes. Flappity, flap, flap, home she flies. Where she waits for me till I come at 3. Waddle, 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 she greets me. To school again, she follows me. To the office, sister, what's her name? To school again, follows me, my friend. To the office, Miss sister, what's her name? Me sends. But the kids all agree, she's a sweet ducky. She flies home to wait for me. Winter's coming to Minnesota, you know. Time for wild ducks south to go. But please, my friend, don't leave me, don't go. So she stays behind in a heated dome. Waddle, waddle, waddles in a strange new home. Come spring, what find we together with her? 5 little ducks and their papa, sir. Now I know what I have to do. Watch them waddle, waddle to a life anew. Watch them waddle, waddle to a life anew. Oh, my duck, ducks go. Oh, my duck, ducks go. Waddle, 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 duck, ducks go. Waddle, 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 duck, ducks go. And he said that was the most difficult thing that he'd ever had to do in his life, was to let go of her. She was really attached to him. And she agreed to stay during the winter in Minnesota. But then she had a family, and then he was able to let her go.
I really like that song.
And me too, and so does he. He and Gabriel really hit it off. This set, and Russell did a medicine wheel in this area that some of his allies had divined that there was access to primary water at the Music and Sky event, which was near Ojai, which is also a former volcano. And the Emoto conference, this Japanese researcher of water, was happening. It started like the last day of the Music and Sky Festival. And so they were in touch, and via email or whatever, and pictures and stuff. And so this Saturday, there's going to be a Zoom call of Clearwater Vision, which is the organization that Russell founded some number of years ago. And Miguel Gabriel has been invited to join in, and a whole bunch of people that are not part of Clearwater Vision. So, in fact, Russell has just joined the California Ringing Cedars group. He just really resonates with what Ringing Cedars is doing. So you'll probably
That's sweet.
yeah.
Beautiful. Tammy, yes, go.
How can I get on the Zoom call? Is it open for everybody?
No, it's by invitation, but I think I gave you my email address, right?
I didn't notice it.
I
No.
put it in the chat.
Yeah, I didn't notice it. Let me look again.
Okay, I'll copy it and paste it in again.
I don't see it.
Oh, well, anyway, I'll put it in and
Yes.
see it?
Yes.
Okay. I'll put it in for everybody as well, if anybody wants to contact me. Yeah, so yeah, if you would give me at some point your email address.
I would love to. Yes, please.
Number and stuff.
I'm doing that now, and I'm going to take down yours.
Okay, and what part of California are you in?
I'm in Southern California now, Santa Clarita Valley, not that far from LA. I'm very, very called to the Clearwater.
Oh, okay.
Very called to the volcano herself. I know of Russell Anderson. The book touched me as much as anything's going to touch me. That's how much I loved the book. And I did join their community, but the fact that they're with Gabriel and now coming on to the Ringing Cedars is like too ideal.
Yeah.
Too ideal. So please, if I could kind of follow in your footsteps and anything you can guide me to, I'd be very grateful.
Okay, let me save the chat so I make sure I have your email address.
Yes, please. I'm taking yours, but I'm not that good at it.
And I'll let Russ know. He and I talk just about every day. So.
Oh, honestly? Okay, well, okay. Could we go into that like one-on-one when it's appropriate?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then one of the objectives of the Clearwater Vision Group is to help the native peoples. I don't remember the name of the LM.
See, I want to do healing work.
Them to help them reconnect with their history, their culture, and then kind of teach the rest of us. They're sitting on a mercury mine and they're being poisoned. And Russ has said that the only members of the tribe that have really survived this poisoning is those who have engaged with their heritage and with the medicine wheel. So what that's worth.
Yeah, I sent a volunteer application and never heard back. I do quantum, I do energetic healing work, but more than that, well, definitely that, but also like I stated, I'm really in a transition wanting to find geographically or energetically where I'm purposefully called to. When I read about Kanakti, my fingers are just dousing and, communicating. It was so very alive within me, that consciousness.
Yeah, Kanakti is the name of the volcano. I guess it's the indigenous name for it.
Correct. Which, by the way, I have a funny innocence. I did not know it was anything more than a legend until I don't remember how it occurred to me to look it up and find out that it's actually here in California. I thought the book was a legend rather than based on, physical, what we call truth.
Well, the Ojai volcano and the Kanakti Clear Lake volcano are all part of the Ring of Fire.
Yes.
The ring of volcanoes from Japan down.
Oh my goodness.
Hawaii. And Hawaii is the heart chakra of the earth, they're saying. I'm not sure whether that's the Elem tribe or just the, yeah. And they have people on the east coast of the United States. They're involved with this too. And there was a ring of fire 100 million years ago in, like the Atlantic. And then the one in the Pacific was like only 25 million years ago or something like that.
Everything they talked about, first of all, okay, so I do healing. And the thing is, for my own self, I kept testing myself for mercury, and my body's saying, nope, nope, nope. Well, but I do have mercury in my mouth. My body's saying, no, no, no. I learned so many incredibly valuable little nuggets from that book. He talks about it's not the mercury, it's the mercury turning into methyl mercury.
Yeah. Because in alchemy, mercury is like part of 3 or 4 elements that are really key for health, for life, for whatever. I don't understand it that well, but I know there's a thing about mercury and I think sulfur and salts or something.
So in that same wavelength about everything we do, and especially water, is that it's not enough to comprehend the mercury. You need to comprehend that it turns into the methyl. Now, what does that tell me? It tells me, do the doctors know that? So then we're back to holistics, if I make sense when I speak.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. When they talked about the economy having not to do with money, having to do with water. Oh my goodness.
Well, Russell quotes the Dalai Lama as saying that mercury will become a healing element or something.
I love that.
In the future.
Silver, I love that. I don't know much about it, but it speaks to me. Yeah, that's incredible. Yeah, there's so much about that like I said, so I wasn't embracing the Anastasia, the ringing cedars yet, because I felt like, well, maybe everybody's too grown up, too far advanced, which I need to get over myself. So I'll put that aside now.
Yeah, so you and I can talk, and I don't know to what extent others are as deeply interested in this as you and I are right now on this call.
I agree. And thank you, Wyatt.
100%, 100%. This is what the calls are about, is like making these connections. And yeah, 100%. I was simply looking at the chapter that I was reading from, and as you guys were talking, I just was like, well, I want to look at this one time, and there's just a lot of beautiful little hidden things. So to speak to that, Tammy, I think that, yeah, there's no age, nobody's grown up. I mean, this movement is alive and it's got a beating heart. And we're honored to have you here with us.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'll lower my hand in a moment.
Yeah, all good.
You're muted, Wyatt.
Okay.
Start that sentence over, please.
My dear friends, is there anything that anyone would like to share before we part ways in the cyber physical flesh space? Because we're always together. So
Me again, can you hear okay?
Yeah.
Yes, I would really like to know how to personally, face to face, connect with someone of the group here in Kansas City. How can I do that?
Are you able to, are you good with technology?
Duh. I don't know. Depends.
Okay, so I've been putting into the chat, I'll put it in one more time, the link to our community platform, and that's a really, really good place to connect with people. Also, Holda has been putting into the chat the regional Telegram groups. So there's a group on there, Missouri, a group that I manage, and that's we're going to be organizing an in-person meetup soon. So that's a really good place to check that out.
Now, that's a list that I got months ago, so I don't know if there's any additional regional groups, Telegram group.
I'm not sure yet. I mean, there is a BC, there's a Canada group that's not on there. But
No, I just put in the USA ones.
oh,
Sorry.
okay. Okay. But needless to say, and that Telegram chat is a good way to join. So are you feeling comfortable about that?
Not entirely, but I guess I could get used to it.
Yeah, that's the best way to like connect with people in the area. The community platform is really, really the best way.
You mean on the website, the
Yeah. Yes.
Anastasia Foundation?
Yes. Yes. And then you'll see there's a section that says community platform.
Okay, good. And that doesn't switch you into Facebook or anything?
Nope. It's a private platform. We own the servers.
Okay, so that's what you meant when you said you own the servers and all. 'Cause
Yeah.
I
It's
personally
not
hate
Facebook. It's not Facebook. It's a unique platform.
Okay, so thank you.
Yeah, no worries. No worries. Glad to have you guys here. Alrighty, my friends. Thank you so much for attending and for making this what it is. Catherine, it was really nice to meet you. Likewise, Tammy, likewise, Anne and Sunny and Dee, even though I know your mic wasn't working, brother. Next time, I really wish. Thank you, Jesse Jacobs. And thank you to Starcat Wendy, Denise Moore, Lisa, and Jamie Griffin, and Bernard for all being here.
And thank you, Wyatt.
And thank you, Wyatt, for it's a special time. I feel really uplifted, and I'm really grateful to be here with you all. And I trust and I know that you'll take the inspiration from today and you will manifest it in magical ways in your life. And we meet again in a week and 2 weeks on Tuesday. So yeah, stay connected. We've been putting the chats in there, Telegram chat, the website. If you're on Facebook, we have a Facebook group as well. This will go up on YouTube, so if you'd like to share it with a friend or anything like that, it's a way to do that.
We need to do a TikTok.
Oh my gosh. That's hilarious. I don't know who we're gonna have to manage that one. Yeah.
Tammy, I sent you my phone number in a private message.
Nice.
Thank you for that. Thank you for that message, Tammy.
Oh, I'm
Thanks, Wyatt. Thank you, everyone.
so touched to be here. Praise God. I'm really, really happy.
Yeah, it's a beautiful thing, everyone.
Okay.
Yes.
I look forward to seeing you all again. Thank you so much. Yes, we are all growing upward. Thank you so much. Thank you. Love you too, Denise. All right, everyone.
Good night. Thanks,
for now.
guys.
Sweet
Bye.
dreams.
Bright thoughts.
Yes.
Yay.
Bye, Shane.